The only thing that I would do, so there's a strategy, right? Number one, 你不要炒股票，炒股票你会输了，you're gonna lose, all right? So there is something called a 公募基金, right? So, and you can buy something called the 沪深300. You can literally buy the market, right? I tell people all the time, look, if you have 100块, 1000块, 10000块, doesn't matter. Every week, right? Put 100 RMB in. Put 100. If it goes up, great. If it goes down, you're buying more cheap. And you just keep doing that, and you say, when I retire in 20 years, it'll be up. It's the safest way to do it. I've been around the Chinese stock market. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. You can never time the market. And a lot of people I know have lost a lot of money doing it. I believe the next 10 years, China's going to have one of the best stock markets in the world. I mean, it sounds odd, but it's going to also be very volatile. So I just tell everybody, whatever you think is convenient for you, right? Any money you put in, you need to say to yourself, if it goes to zero tomorrow, I'm fine. But you just keep putting it in the same amount, dollar cost average, I think you should do it every week. You can do it every month. But if you keep doing that, I promise you, you'll do better than if you leave your money in the bank. Now, am I saying you should take all your money in the bank and do that? No. But I think 15, 20% of what you have in the bank, I would be slowly putting it into the 沪深300. Is the Chinese market policy driven, as people call it? Absolutely. But it's also driven by economic fundamentals. You can look at different companies and be like, oh, that company's doing better than others. So it's easy to say China is a policy-driven market, but in reality, it's both, okay? Now, the American market, everybody says, oh, it's an economic capitalist market. Right. It is, but it's also policy-driven. People don't like to talk about it. So I would argue that China is probably more policy-driven than economic-driven, and the US is probably more economic-driven than policy-driven, but they're doing this. China is going to become more and more economic and less policy-driven, and I think the US is going to become more and more policy-driven, less and less economic-driven. The work that I try to do is my clients are trying to come in, they have a global business, and they think that their global business will work in China. And I agree with that. Their global business will work in China. Banks, insurance companies, fund managers. My job is to explain to them what the differences are. Okay, you want to bring your business into China, that's great, it'll work, but you need to change things here and there. And if you change things here and there, you should be okay. I think I mentioned last week, one of the big ones is you need to hire a really good team locally and let them do their job. Now, most companies would be like, completely agree, Peter, totally agree. And then 4 months later, the local team calls me up going, oh my God, my boss in America is driving me crazy. So these things happen all the time. They don't know how to integrate. So I have to try to help them, and it's a very difficult thing to do. That's why I get stressed, because they don't listen. So there's a word called not just patience, but there's a thing that the Chinese have that the Americans don't have. It's called tenacity. Tenacity means to be able to have a belief in what you're doing, to work at it every day and do the best that you can, accepting both the failures and the successes, and just keep moving forward. But doing it in a way that's the right way forward. Just because you hire your local team and do these things doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Yeah. But you do need that. You need that to be successful. So as you're going through, you just need to be able to go, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do this. So it's tenacity.